Hello, welcome to the Tour of Pleasure here in the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione. I'm the Lord Chamberlain of the Enchanted Kingdom, Zip Gun, going over my new thrift store acquisitions, which I do every once in a while when there's anything of any note, stuff that might be of any note to some people. Sometimes you find cool stuff. I never fail to find some. And today I got some. Today's theme I think is going to be called Breaking the Rules. There are rules that I have about thrift store stuff. And one of them is if it's for instance, an opera, but it has no book, I'm not going to buy it. I break these rules really rarely. One of them was my Beethoven Ashkenazi box for $2 with like 13 of 14 CDs in it. And I realized I had the missing CD on a different CD somewhere else. So, okay, but I'd rather not do that. I don't like having CDs without books. The last one I bought without a book in it, I think was a dollar brand, Abdullah Abraham, and it was like, didn't want to leave it behind. And today I had, if you watch this channel, you'll probably have already seen my feel-good story about the Beatles CD with the kids, and at that thrift store I found some pretty cool stuff. I found the Beatles CD, which I didn't buy. I let him buy it. But the thing where I broke the rule, I might as well start with that. One of the rules is, in the good old days, you'd get box sets of stuff. And the box sets would usually be like long box things, and they would come with CDs in their own individual jewel boxes in the box. And normally, if a box set shows up in the thrift store and it's missing the box and the book and all that, normally I won't buy it. But I found two here that actually looked like they were probably worth buying. And at $1 a CD or $5 a box, they looked like they might be worth it. And they were two 5-CD Elvis compilations from 1993. And they are, and I'm going to make this as simple as I can without getting into ridiculous detail. The first one is called, which here? From Nashville to Memphis. And it is the Essential 60s Masters. Now, what this essentially is 5 CDs of the best of his stuff from the 60s, with the exclusion of anything from the movies, which excludes a bit. However, it's really mostly very good. And it's especially interesting because it charts Elvis's progress from the movie songs, if you will, the early 60s, pre-Beatles almost, to things like Suspicious Minds, that era there. And it's got a lot of stuff. There's even one interesting song where he writes it. He co-writes. I think there's 2 co-writes on this, maybe. And these were $1 a piece. There they are. And the thing is, the CDs are complete enough for me that, for example, each does have a book, and the book does contain enough detailed information about each song that doesn't leave me completely in the dark. So I didn't really need the book with the notes. It would have been nice, of course, and it would have been a super bargain at $5 a box. But this is Elvis. Elvis in the thrift store never goes out cheap. So to get these for $1 a record, I thought was actually not bad. And the second 5 is the Essential 70s Masters, which is pretty much exactly what it says. Maybe a little more predictable than the other one. And it's got, Burnin' Love, and it's got pretty much everything you need, and then some. I've been finding little pearls of wonderfulness in this. So it was basically $10 for 2 of them, which is not, I get a lot of CDs for $0.25. But for Elvis, and it really fills a huge gap in my Elvis collection. And Elvis is worth, if you're a collector, you owe it to yourself to have at least some primo Elvis. And I don't have any fat at all in my Elvis collection. So there. As a curator, I feel good. What else did I get? I got Shostakovich Symphony 10. on the Apex label, which is Telarc's cheap label, and this is a great label. It's hard to find. Shostakovich, I found 3 of these. Now, I collect this series. I think these are British composers. And this is pretty much definitive versions of works by British composers. So you have Vaughan Williams, done by Adrian Boult. You have Vaughan Williams, Symphony 8 and 9, with the London Philharmonic Orchestra. What is 69 and 70 recordings? So they're old analog recordings. They're great. They're warm. Performances are about as British as kippers and black pudding. These are terrific. Like, again, I don't know why I find so many of them in the thrift stores, but I do. And here we have some of his more sacred stuff. Bryn Terfel's on this one. Hey, what year is this? 1993. Okay. Richard Hickok's London Symphony Chorus. And this one I really like because I love this Walton piece, Crown Imperial. I recorded an orchestra doing it once, and live it was just a great, fabulous, jingoistic British piece. Here we got Louis Fremont with the Birmingham Symphony, and yeah, $1 a piece. Great, I'll buy that. Now, Mary Lou Williams. This is hard to find, and Mary Lou Williams is a great unsung hero of jazz piano, and I don't even know where to start with her. 1975, her and a bass player live at the Cookery on, I can never pronounce this, Chiaroscuro Records, which is a great funky little jazz label. I mean, this is stupid. I should send in the business reply card, see where it goes. 1990. Does a Duke song on it, does a bunch of her own. Praise the Lord by Mary Lou Williams. She is, if you're into jazz piano, if you study jazz piano and you don't know who she is, you got to get on it, boy. I bought this for the simple reason that it seems to be kind of trip-hop British stuff. There's a live DVD, which always is. I'm a total sucker for live DVDs. And it's, I figured I'd take a flyer on it. And finally, oh yeah, and then there's this, $1 for this. I don't have it. Good record. If you're going to own one Pretenders record, I was in a band that played Tattooed Love Boys. So there you go. And that's the record that basically established her. Now this is where it gets kind of weird. Oh yeah, and I found another. John Tavener, British composer, recorded a record for Apple way back in the day. This is on Virgin. I don't have this. It was $1, and I like John Tavener. Good modern British. I found this used in the thrift store, sealed. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but there you go. I don't think it's in print anymore. And then I found Yo-Yo Ma plays Ennio Morricone, and I can't wait to play this because I really like Ennio Morricone, and I think Yo-Yo Ma is a good guy with a good heart. And even if I know I've got 6 better versions of the cello suites by Bach than his, I think he's a good guy, and I think he's a positive force in music. And when he gets his hooks into something like this, it usually ends up being pretty good. So there you go. That was my week at the thrift stores. I don't know if I mentioned this. Another sealed one I found. This was 50 cents. Eugene Hardy, my pal. I've known Eugene for a long time. Canada's tenor sax king. Blow, blow, blow. This was sealed for sale in the corner of a mom and pop video game store in Victoria, in a little corner where they had 50-cent CDs. They had about 20 of them. There it was, Lonely and Unloved. I've bought it. I'm going to open it and play it at the same time I play the Virgin Trombone Shorty record that I got, which I just opened. So that comes later. Thanks for watching, and we'll hit the subscribe and all that other thing. More subscribers I get, the more likely I'll be able to keep doing this, I think. Not sure. Thanks to Microphonic Fool, those videos we were watching here, for the new camera. It was wonderful. He found me a great deal on Marketplace, so my videos hopefully will get better. You never know. It's not because of me. He does all my editing and everything. He's a great guy, and he's my right-hand man. So I got to mention him. Thanks for watching. Take care of each other. We'll talk to you anon.